Hey Scorpio, thanks for watching. So we're focusing on the new moon in Aquarius and how it's affecting you. And then we'll be just moving into the rest of the month and how we're in eclipse season now. So how February will be affecting you and what you can do just to be aware, basically, or just so you can be aware of what's coming up. On January 27th, the new moon peaked at 7:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 4:07 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And for you, this was in your fourth house of, don't mind if I'm just looking at my notes, on your fourth house of home, the mother, hometown, home country, land as well, property. Generally, it's property that's immovable, or investments as well. But things that are basically make us feel secure. Everything that we can protect, or that makes us feel protected as well. And this often does have to do with the home or the mother. And what this new moon is really asking us to do is bring in our, not just our unique selves, but our bold selves, our Aquarian inspired selves. So this means really just speaking about who you are, sharing of your essence, and being ultimately like the humanitarian that Aquarius speaks of and views himself to be. So what we're really looking at, we're asking you to do is ultimately be yourself and be empowered, that by being yourself, you will find benefits throughout your home, or with your mother, or with your hometown or country, and really finding accolades because you are being yourself and are being authentic. Authenticity is really the name of the game for February, and doing it in as much of a loving way as possible. So February 1st and 2nd, Mercury in Capricorn. And Capricorn for you is represented by your third house, so short distance travel, commuting, as well as siblings, cousins, neighbors, that peer group, as well as like family of origin, and just like the local town. And in addition, so commuting, transportation, emails, texts, phone calls, any kind of written communication as well, phone bills. So Mercury in Capricorn for you is communication around these issues, and it's actually having a tight conversation with, and not just for you, but for everyone. It shows up in different ways. So tight conversation in regard with the changes that have been happening since around 2011, 2012, with when Uranus moved into Aries. And for you, this was represented by your sixth house. So the changes that have happened in your daily life. So whether that's you began changing your lifestyle ultimately in some way, so whether through diet or exercise, some kind of practice that you would do on a daily basis. So brushing your teeth a different way, doing meditation or yoga or something like that as well. So and because of these changes in your life, you have seen growth, almost in a sporadic way, but two, like in a unpredictably impressive growth sometimes at times too. So there's a conversation around the transportation, communication versus your daily life and how that shows up for you. And then the next day, on the 2nd, Jupiter in Libra is also aspected by the conversations that Mercury's bringing up around your third house of transportation, communication, short distance travel. And Jupiter for you is represented by your 12th house. So your 12th house is really about going down, going deep within, looking at what needs to be changed, as well as the things that you do behind the scenes, things that people don't know about, and things that you try to hide or suppress as well. So that can sometimes be psychological issues, or really just trying to keep something under wraps. Sometimes this can be just like a private practice that you keep to yourself that people don't know about as well, because the 12th house also represents spirituality and religion. So however that might show up, as well as the occult, and things that are not easily understood, so the unseen. And then moving on to February 6th, there's Jupiter is actually going retrograde in Libra. So the topics are the areas that I was just talking about. And Jupiter has been in Libra since the fall of 2016 and will continue to be there until October 10th of 2017. And what's great about this is that Jupiter is really an expansive type of energy and quality. So it will grow and expand and increase whatever it touches oftentimes. So most times this is a blessing, but sometimes, when it rains it pours, so it can be, it can bring you overwhelming situations or things that are sometimes hard to manage. So Jupiter in Libra for you, alternatively, this could show up as Jupiter really bringing a spiritual growth or spiritual aspect or healing to your life since the fall of 2016, and will continue to until the fall of 2017. When Jupiter is going direct, though, it's really about looking at how your progress has been going, what you want to eliminate, what you want to revise, the processes of, as well as maybe just looking at your progress so far, and what you want to do from now until the fall. So moving on to February the 10th and 11th, there's lunar eclipse in Leo, and for you this is your 10th house of career status, as well as the father, CEOs, institutions, bureaucracy, governments, the leaders. So we see lunar eclipses usually generally represent an ending of some sort, or can just even be a renewal or a rebirth. So for you, I would wonder if there is, maybe you could be getting a promotion or some kind of accolades. Oftentimes you see yourself leaving a situation or a position because you're going on to something bigger and better, and there's something that has to be left behind at that point, as well as maybe there's some kind of like renewal around a father relationship, or a leader in your life. So moving on to February the 18th, the Sun enters Pisces, and the Pisces for you is so Pisces for you is your 5th house of lighthearted love relationships, hobbies, pleasurable activities, children as well, or childbearing, creativity, mostly, as well, self-expression. So we really see a focus here or highlight on enjoyment, the enjoyment of life at this time for you, and reveling in what you deem to be enjoyable or successful in your life, and oftentimes this does include someone else. So moving on to February the 26th, there is a solar eclipse, new moon in Pisces, and this is again just bringing a greater focus on the topics that I was just speaking of. So your 5th house of lighthearted love relationships, children, creativity, your relationships with children if you don't have any, or just bringing in the youthful energy, creativity, art, self-expression, performance, anything that can really speak to drama, basically. So seeing a new beginning around these topics, and whether that can, and especially being an eclipse, this can often represent something big, like a birth, or like the beginning of a new project or a new phase, or some kind of even a new business as well. That's really probably focused around creativity. So yeah, so that's it. And if you have any comments, please subscribe to the newsletter, rawredemption.ca. Just scroll to the bottom, or send me a note at raw_redemption@icloud.com. Thanks. Have a great month, and I hope to see you next month. Take care.